Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning!
Welcome back everyone, and it's time for an anime balls deep theory, as we are going to use my balls deep prediction magic at an all-time high for this video, because I'm going to explain how Tanjiro will defeat Muzan with the power of his breath style called the Dance of the Fire God, and how he must turn his black nichirin sword red just like Yoriichi from the past, the one person Muzan feared the most and could not defeat. Furthermore, we also have to think about Nezuko and how will she survive. This is because it was revealed if Muzan dies, then all demons would die alongside with him due to being connected with his blood. Kaguya Obayashiki exposed the truth, as well as the fact that only the sun could kill Muzan at this point. With that out of the way, let's cue the intro. Firstly, let's begin with Muzan's history. Muzan is the first demon that has been around for longer than 1,000 years. His bloodline is connected with the Ubayashiki family tree, as their descendants were from the same period of time revealed in chapter 137. This caused the Ubayashiki family to be cursed, as the family is born weak or die very young. Therefore, the family has been dedicated for over 1,000 years to destroy Muzan, as the priests informing them that a demon has come from their bloodline and they must dedicate the family to stopping him to avoid their family name from dying out. The priests have been giving wives to the Ubayashiki bloodline for generations and generations, over 1,000 years, to help in this mission. In chapter 137, we see Muzan witness Kaguya's kids singing a family song, and he says it's strange nostalgia. The sense of relief is so repulsive. So this confirms it is the truth and he is from their bloodline descendant. Muzan wants to become an indestructible force and needs Nezuko to figure out how to conquer the sun. The one thing Muzan fears the most is the sun, as it is the only thing that can cause his death. However, the only human being he has ever feared in his life over the thousands years of existence is Yoriichi. His PTSD of his memory being defeated by him lives on till this day, and other demons can even feel this fear, as Tanjiro reminds them of Yoriichi due to having the same powers. Now you have to wonder to yourself, right? Wait a second, if Yoriichi defeated Muzan and he feared him, why didn't Yoriichi kill Muzan? Aha! Good thinking, guys. Good thinking, everyone. That's a great question, and I will answer that later on in the video. By the way, guys, I am gonna make pronunciation errors, and I'm sorry for that, but my Japanese is terrible. Bear with me. Basically, Yoriichi is the embodiment of what a demon slayer needs to become to kill Muzan, as he is the only person he has ever feared in his life and he lost to. The most important factor we must remember is that Yoriichi said to Tanjiro's ancestor that history repeats itself and finds its way, and he is confident in the future that a day will come when someone will be born that can fulfill his role to defeat Muzan. Yoriichi is the twin brother of Kokushibo, and he is the one all the demons are remembering in their PTSD, as they are connected to Muzan by blood. For instance, this occurred against Darky when she resonated the thought of Tanjiro replicating the image of Yoriichi. Tanjiro is the boy that is repeating history and is fulfilling some type of prophecy that makes him like Yoriichi, that will allow him to defeat Muzan. Tanjiro has all the same powers. Let me explain how. Yoriichi was the best swordsman to ever live in his era, and Kokushibo, his own brother, admits that in the hundreds of years of living as a demon, he has never ever seen a greater swordsman than him. Not a single person could defeat him, and he was like a godlike being, almost perfect. This is because Yoriichi at birth was gifted with talents that no one else possessed, and he created the concept of breath styles that we see the pillars are using. The original sun breath he created was something that allowed him to harness the power that could kill Muzan, as one of the things it did, it would turn his sword red that harnesses the sun's power. We know that the sun is the only thing that could officially kill Muzan at this point, confirmed by Kaguya Ubayashiki. This is why the other demon slayers such as Tanjiro, they also need to turn their swords red in the final fight, just like Yoriichi did. Yoriichi also since birth had the ability to gaze into the see-through world, which allows him to see the disease within his mother and also defeat strong opponents by seeing their blood flow must muscle and joint movement. He did this against his brother the first time he ever picked up a sword, despite the fact that Kokushibo had been training throughout the years. The see-through ability is a power that Tanjiro has also unlocked during his fight against Akaza. Other pillars such as Himejima have also acquired this ability. In chapter 151, Tanjiro's father describes the ability as being able to utilize your 5 senses and become aware of your entire body down to the tiniest blood vessel. You then have to pick and choose your movements and senses which you would like to perform with this intense concentration and breathing. When your mind becomes invisible, you will begin to see a see-through world. Now, since Tanjiro has achieved this, he is now getting even more closer to Yoriichi's original power, and his final 2 abilities he needs to acquire is the 13th breath style of the Dance of the Fire God, which he said he received information about in chapter 180. We know this see-through world power is absolutely broken because Tanjiro then was able to fight against Akaza, and even Yoriichi using this ability at 8 years old against the Upper Demon Moon 1, his brother, he couldn't even see what he did. It was like a flash through the eye because he is concentrating so much. It just has a power that no one else possesses. The other thing Tanjiro needs to do is make his black blade turn red. The reason why Tanjiro's black blade is so important and unique is because black is a color that absorbs the most sunlight and energy. If you can remember, all the other pillars against Kokushibo resonated with each other that allowed their swords to turn red as they harnessed their energy to will it into existence. Even he was shocked because they weren't original sun breath users. Well, the nichirin blades are special blades used by and made specifically for the demon slayers. They are forged from a unique ore that constantly absorbs sunlight, one of the only major weaknesses of demons, right? So this is what made their swords turn red as they resonated with each other. Now, Tanjiro's sword is black, which means over time it has absorbed the most sunlight out of every other pillar. This will be a huge power boost to Tanjiro once he turns his sword red against Muzan again, that will be replicating the power of Yoriichi like last time over hundreds of years ago. So since I have explained the original breath and why Muzan was so scared of Yoriichi because he can die from this, later on Kokushibo and Muzan, they admit in chapter 178 that they went around the whole country killing any breath users because they wanted it to go extinct. During Kokushibo's death, he then asks, why does his brother Yoriichi's breath style always live on? How come they can't go extinct when they tried so hard to do so? Now, this is a good question and here is my explanation. We all know by now that Yoriichi actually defeated Muzan and he was about to kill him during the flashback. I believe the reason why Muzan did not die is because he informed Yoriichi that he has turned his precious brother into a demon. He told Yoriichi that if he killed him, then the brother he loved so dearly would also die as he is cursed just like him, connected by blood. This therefore stopped Yoriichi from fulfilling his mission as he had to see for himself if Muzan was telling the truth. This is when we cut to Yoriichi being 80 years old, where he has finally found his brother and the truth that his brother has indeed become a demon. But before Yoriichi found his brother, we clearly see his Hanafuda earrings not being there. This is because before he found out the truth about his brother, he made another mission to teach breath styles to Tanjiro's ancestors and passed on the earrings and the original sun breath that he created, right? But as I said, in chapter 178, Kokushibo and Muzan, they admitted that they were going around the whole country killing any breath style users. So what Yoriichi had to do, he had to change the sun breath style to the Dance of the Fire God when he taught them, to keep it a secret from Muzan, as if he found out the truth what the original breath was, he would again try to wipe it out of existence. So once Yoriichi met his brother at 80 years old, this is what causes him to cry for the first time as we saw in the chapter, and upon his death he still held the precious flute his brother gave him in memory of him. Later on when Kokushibo dies, we see this flute once again as he took it from Yoriichi's corpse. Kokushibo believed his brother to be perfect, but little did he realize that his attachment to him was his biggest weakness. Tanjiro is the ancestor of the people Yoriichi taught, and he was born with the Demon Slayer mark since birth, just like Yoriichi hundreds and hundreds of years later. Tanjiro is repeating the same cycle of history that he did. When Tanjiro was born with the mark, he also helped resonate the other pillars to have the Demon Slayer mark just like him. The reason the black blade that Tanjiro received was an omen and seen as bad luck to the person that received it is because the person that had the black blade through the hundreds and hundreds of years that have passed, they were born with the original Demon Slayer mark just like Yoriichi that would help resonate it between the other wielders. However, we know the people who are born with the Demon Slayer mark, they die at the age of 25. That's why it has this omen. This is why all the wielders seem to die. Over the centuries, series, Tanjiro is finally the boy that has done everything correctly to meet the parallel image of Yoriichi that will finally kill Muzan. Now if you got to this point of the video, please smash the like button please and the notification bell, because I will make another video on why Nezuko is special, and I also cover the manga on a weekly basis, so I will really appreciate it guys if you do that for me. Now since Muzan wanted to kill all breath users and has been hunting them down till this day, Yoriichi during this time before he died, he had a friend named Sumiyoshi, which is Tanjiro's ancestor. Based on their conversation, we come to know that Yoriichi had no successor both as a swordsman and in his family clan. That's another reason he had to do this. So over the hundreds and hundreds of years, what happened to his original sun breath was that it changed to the dance of the fire god admitted to us in chapter 178. Tanjiro's ancestors have kept this tradition going, and they now live in the mountains so that Muzan cannot kill this breath style from existing, and therefore he can become unbeatable. They had to hide this power from him, so they disguised it as something else and lived far away where no one could find them. However, unfortunately, we all know after hundreds of years, Tanjiro's family gets killed, and Muzan or another demon must have heard things about the truth of a family with Hanafuda earrings living in the mountains just like Yoriichi. So the question is why? Why did Nezuko become a demon? Why not kill her? Well, again, this is because history is repeating itself, as Yoriichi mentioned, that somehow things will find a way and that there is hope. Yoriichi's brother sibling became a demon and was used against him by Muzan. Muzan is plotting the same scheme against anyone who survived, as he will do anything to live on and plans ahead for his survival, right? But little does he know is that he just set up his own demise by setting Tanjiro on his path for revenge. That's the irony in his story. Muzan or another person must have turned Nezuko into a demon as a backup plan to stop whoever survived from killing him as revenge, because their precious sister would die too if they end up doing it. Muzan changing Nezuko into a demon was to make sure if someone was left behind that owned the Hanafuda earrings, he feared them so much that they would crumble and die by Nezuko's own hands. But as we saw, Tanjiro survived his sister, and then he created a connection of humanity and love with his sister that caused her to be so different from the other demons. Now the foreshadowing that history is repeating itself, where Tanjiro will have to decide just like Yoriichi did in the past, is given to us in chapter 135. In this chapter, Tanjiro meets Himejima due to his training. He asks Tanjiro about his feelings on his decision to leave Nezuko behind in his previous battle against Hantengu. In Tanjiro's fight in chapter 126, he asks Nezuko to run due to the sun rising. Tanjiro cannot bear the idea of losing her and prioritizes her safety over everything else, even the mission of killing a demon. So this is quite bad, right? So Tanjiro realizes that if he prioritizes Nezuko's safety, then he will fail in killing the demon. Nezuko then makes the decision for him by not listening to him anymore and sacrificing herself by throwing Tanjiro into battle to finish it. This is how the story is being set up in its conclusion, as the stone pillar then asks, "You prioritized the humans in the swordsmith village over your sister when crisis struck. There's no shame in that. You are truly a swordsman. You acted the right way." Tanjiro then replies that he is wrong, and it was Nezuko that made the choice for him. He could not decide himself if he should sacrifice his sister or not. This is where the character development has already taken place, as Tanjiro will be in the same predicament as Yoriichi in his fight against Muzan in the future. Currently, he doesn't even know if Nezuko has become human yet due to Tamio's medicine, as her blood is rapidly changing and she has a fever. However, Nezuko keeps trying to help Tanjiro in his fights to make sure he survives, and he needs her demon art to win. In the end, either Tanjiro will sacrifice his sister or she will change into a human in the nick of time for him to cut off Muzan's head completely with the red blade. Anyway, another way how Tanjiro will defeat Muzan is revealed in chapter 181, where we see there's a 13th breath style to the dance of the fire god. But we also have to remember in chapter 151, Tanjiro says that the performer of the dance of the fire god has to continue to do it from sunset to sunrise. This could be a possible way of how Tanjiro defeats Muzan, as the pillars will help him stall the battle till he can complete the ritual, and Muzan will die to the sun as planned. But anyway guys, I'm going to leave this video here for now, and I will do a follow up on Nezuko's special trait of her powers that will help Tanjiro defeat Muzan next week as well, because she has something that no other demon has, right? And I will explain all of that, her whole history. So if you want that video, make sure to smash that like button, because I really do want to do it. Anyway, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. Make sure to let me know what you think about this theory, and I'll see you guys next time.